So first off, I would just like to say thank you very much for everyone who's joining us today. I am Sarah Heaney and I'm the Membership Manager at Glasgow Chamber, and I will be hosting this morning for a whistle-stop tour of all the benefits of being a member of Glasgow Chamber of Commerce. So we were founded in 1783 when the merchants and traders realised that if they came together, then they had a stronger, more resolute voice when trading internationally. Fast forward 200 plus years, we still do the same thing. We bring businesses together to connect, to grow, and to be heard. So we'd like to thank you for taking the time to invest in your business, and we've got a lot to get through this morning, and we'll be sharing all the details of the people that you hear from, so you can follow up in a follow-up email after this event. And don't panic, we are recording this session so you can watch it back as many times as you like during the Christmas break. We would also encourage you to share with all of your colleagues as well the things that you've learned, because that's our first top tip today, is to remember that the membership is for your entire organisation and not for an individual. So without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our first speaker today, who is Stuart Patrick, our Chief Executive. Over to you, Stuart.
Thanks very much, Sarah, and good morning, everybody, and very good to see folks joining us this morning on our tour of the Chamber's offer to members and all that you can do with the Chamber of Commerce. I'm absolutely delighted to see new members arriving and what are, after all, fairly tricky times. Our mission as a chamber hasn't changed in the last 2 years, despite all that has been going on. We are, and we remain, committed to two things. One, supporting our members to grow their businesses, to help you grow and expand and succeed and invest successfully. And secondly, we're here to champion Glasgow as a place to do business. So we are a organisation for ensuring that Glasgow is seen as a great place to come and do business and to grow a business. These are extraordinary times, as we all have explored at great length over the last, what is now almost 2 years. Clearly, COVID has challenged us all in various different ways in the way in which we run our businesses. And I'm delighted that the Chamber has risen to the occasion with a considerable number of exercises that help bring the members together to help support one another through what has been a pretty tricky time. And I'm sure that will get discussed during this morning's exploration of what we do. But also, we've just had COP26, which was one of the most extraordinary events for, not just I have to say for Glasgow, but for Scotland and for the United Kingdom. And your chamber was right in the middle of it, getting right stuck in to all the issues around climate change and making sure that the chamber is helping our members to make the connection to all the issues that climate change presents. And again, you're going to see a bit of that, I'm sure, this morning. You'll also find that we are a pretty doughty spokesperson for the city. We will fight the city's corner. We've been doing so all the way through COVID. We will do so relentlessly, positively, all the way through next year. Our view is, or my view is, in consultation with our members and the policy forums, that next year will be a better year, and that we're going to see some real growth. We're going to see some of the issues that we've been having to deal with in the past 2 years beginning to fade away. And that we'll be focusing on all the good things about Glasgow, all the good things about our members, and making sure that everybody in the membership knows those good things and everyone outside in the wider community also does. So we're hoping that we can get stuck into that positive message right from the beginning of next year. Omicron notwithstanding, we're going on to the positive in January. So I hope you enjoy everything that you hear this morning, and look forward to seeing feedback or comments on all that you hear. And I shall pass back to Sarah. Thank you very much.
Great, thanks very much, Stuart. And without further ado, I'll pass on to Alan to chat about events.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome along to the Maximise Your Membership webinar this morning. My name, as Sarah just said, is Alan Busby, and I'm the Events and Professional Development Manager at the Chamber. And along with my colleague Michael, we work to put on over 100 events and training programmes every year. They are all really designed to help your business grow, develop, and to maximise all opportunities for your business in the city. The events cover things like networking, developing the team, understanding some of the latest policy and government policy and that Stuart was just mentioning there, and what impacts they may have on your business, and to gather ideas from the business community in the city in order to help the Chamber lobby on your behalf, but also to develop programmes that can help your business thrive. From a training perspective, we have many business skills courses that cover a huge range of topics to really train or upskill your team. They cover leadership, international trade certification, and international trade development, first aid, and a lot of the basic office skills for your team as well. We also deliver 2 leadership development programs called Flourish and Rising Stars, and they're really designed for people who are looking to grow or develop their leadership and their businesses, and they are tend to be delivered over 6 sessions and achieve massive impacts for your business as well. Event-wise, we've developed many virtual and in-person events, and I'm delighted to say that in the second half of this year, we've seen some in-person events coming back online following the pandemic as well. And you may have actually seen some coverage of some of the stuff that we did with the Glasgow Business Awards in October, and as Stuart mentioned, some of the COP activity that we did as well. So covering off events, we have a couple of award ceremonies that we host every year. One is the Inspiring City Awards, which is really designed to recognise businesses that give back to the city and help the city grow and thrive. And then we've got the Glasgow Business Awards, which celebrate all of your business success. And we, as I said, delivered them in October this year, and it was wonderful to gather 550 businesses together to really celebrate what businesses has achieved in the 18 months since we'd held them previously. Conferencing wise, we've developed a couple of conference models, and you will see some more of this coming from the Chamber in 2022. Last year they were all virtual, but I'm hoping that next year we will see some hybrid conferencing coming in, and we cover topics like Glasgow in the COVID world. And we also introduced a new conference last May, which was called Focus Forward. We were really looking at the 10 years plan for the city. And this year, obviously, had a bit of a net zero and climate theme to it, as we were 6 months out from COP at the time as well. We have a Glasgow Talks programme, which is where we hear from business leaders, and I want to say straight from the horse's mouth, but really to understand their story and to understand a wee bit about the strategies that they're putting in place to develop and grow their companies. And it's a fantastic networking tool and opportunity to hear from some of the business leaders right across the globe. We do a series of networking events, which include lunches or networking evenings, which always get a really good success rate for our businesses that come along. We held one last Friday in Oranmore, and everyone who came along got the opportunity to pitch their business by delivering an elevator pitch. And we call it speed networking, so they all get a minute to do that pitch, and they have fantastic results for people's businesses as well. We have a series of webinar business briefings that cover all topics, and a lot of what's happened in the last year has been looking at how COVID and the COVID restrictions have been impacting business and how businesses should respond to them as well. And as Stuart also talked about, we achieved a lot during COP26, and hopefully you all saw some of the coverage of what the Chamber achieved from an event perspective during COP as well. But we're really looking at how we take the agenda that came from Glasgow during COP and the Glasgow Pact in order to drive it forward. And I think you'll see quite a lot of programmes to encourage businesses to be part of how the city responds to the call from COP. Just finally, I just want to say I'm open to conversations with members. So if anyone's got any ideas or would like to see anything being developed either in the training side of things or events, please just give me a shout. And as always, I'm open to sponsorship opportunities. So if anyone has any particular ideas and would be interested in maybe sponsoring some of the events that I spoke about, please give me a shout. And as Sarah said, the details will come out after. So Sarah, back to you. A long 2 minutes.
Yes, I was going to say that it's a very long 2 minutes, Alan, but I know that there's a lot to cover in the event, so we'll let you off. Next, I'll go to Rachel.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Rachel, and I'm the digital content lead for the Chamber. So I'm just going to take you through a few ways that we can promote your company through your Chamber membership. So the main way to do this is really by sending us your press releases or any good news stories that you have. So if you send them to the marketing email address, which is marketing@glasgowchamberofcommerce.com, then we will share this on the members news section of our website, and we'll also select some stories to be shared through our social channels and on our email bulletins as well. I look after the social media channels, and across all our different platforms, we have over 53,000 followers. The Chamber has a LinkedIn page, Twitter, and Instagram. So on LinkedIn, we've got over 11,700 followers, and on Twitter, over 17,000. So it really is a fantastic opportunity for you to promote your business to fellow members, but also to the wider Glasgow business community. So I'd really encourage every member to follow the social media channels, because that's where you'll hear our latest events updates, as well as members' news stories and Chamber updates, and Glasgow news as well. So on Twitter and Instagram, if you search Glasgow Chamber, you'll find us, and then on LinkedIn, it's Glasgow Chamber of Commerce. We also have a private LinkedIn group, where it's more sharing sort of best practice on there. So I'd also advise that you sign up to that as well by searching Glasgow Chamber of Commerce in LinkedIn. Aside from our social media channels, we also share some members' stories in our bulletins. So you can sign up to our mailing list via the member portal, and then you'll receive our weekly Wednesday bulletin, which has a roundup of the week's news. And also there's specific email communications that go out from our Circular Glasgow team, DYW Glasgow team, and then emails on members' benefits, international trade, and then updates from Stuart as well. So also, as Sarah mentioned, I'd encourage the main Chamber contact within your business to share it throughout your business, so that everyone signs up to the mailing list and not just the one content, so that everyone receives the information that's relevant to them and everyone can take advantage of the membership benefits and the events that we have on offer. As well, on the portal, you can update your company records, book events, post member offers, and then view the member directory. So I definitely advise to log into the portal and have a look around all the opportunities that are there. We also have a quarterly magazine called Glasgow Business, where we post articles about Glasgow, the work of the Chamber, and as well a lot of members' news stories. So if you go to the news section of our website, you'll see the online version there for the past editions. So this is another opportunity where you can submit any good news stories that you have, and they can be considered for inclusion in the magazine. So we look for roughly around 200 words and a high-res image. So depending on how many articles we have or how many how many news stories we can include, but we do share a lot within the magazine. If you want to guarantee that your story will be included in the magazine or in the bulletin, then we do have paid advertising options available as well. So if you reach out to the marketing email address, then we can share more details there. And then finally, we have our YouTube channel. So if you search for Glasgow Chamber of Commerce on YouTube, you'll be able to subscribe to our channel there, and it's got past webinars, some interviews. So there's lots of content there, and we're actually just uploading a lot of our COP26 content just now. So now is the perfect time to subscribe so that you'll be alerted when they're all up there. That's it for me.
Great, thank you very much, Rachel and Alan and Stuart, to be fair. So I was a little bit remiss of me. I just realised that I didn't actually introduce my membership team colleague, Nadia Stahl, who's also on the call today. And she's given us a wave. Great, thanks, Nadia. And as Rachel mentioned, we've got the members directory, which has got a named main contact and contact details for our main contact within each of the member organisations. So please do take a look at that, and you can contact a fellow member using your whatever messaging you'd like, but just make sure that you do let them know that you got their details through the chamber directory as a fellow member, etc. And if there are some businesses that you're particularly interested in getting an introduction to, then you can get in touch with myself or with Nadia, and we can facilitate those introductions. Obviously, over the last 18 months, a lot of that has been through email introductions, but as we see more face-to-face events happening, we'll be able to invite you along to an event that somebody that you're looking to meet. We can invite you to an event that they're attending, or vice versa. We can invite them along to an event that we know you're attending, so that we can facilitate those introductions face to face, which is super exciting that we get to do that again. Another top tip I would say is to make sure that your business record is up to date and your business description is up to date as well, because that is how other members can find you on the directory. So next, I will pass you over to my colleague, Seren.
Hi everyone, I'm Seren and I work on the international team at the Chamber, and the international trade work is a very important part of the Chamber's overall work, and we do really hope that we're able to support our membership in this area, and that we are able to help help Scottish firms grow and expand internationally. So one of the kind of main things that we offer are international trade missions. And so before COVID, all of these trade missions were done in person in the foreign market. Obviously over the last kind of year and a half, we've had to move all of these trade missions to be virtual, but we do hope that going into 2022, that we will bring back in-person trade missions. So that's our plan. So really a trade mission focuses on a specific city or country, and we usually focus on around two to three sectors. So to give you an example, last June, we went with a delegation of 10 Scottish businesses virtually to Düsseldorf in Germany, and we focused on renewable energy and green tech. And so as part of the mission, these businesses were able to join different market sessions, different sector-specific sessions, and then the area that really adds the most value are the B2B meetings. So we will work with our partner in market, and they will actually match our Scottish businesses with appropriate businesses within that foreign market. So it really depends on kind of what your goals are, what your objectives are, and to who we match you with. So it could be investors, it could be distributors, it could be potential partners. So yeah, that's kind of one big area that you can get involved with. I just wanted to quickly touch on the international work that we did for COP very briefly. So we held what was called the Climate Chamber Mission, and this was the biggest ever international trade mission that was run by British Chamber of Commerce. And really our aim was to bring together leading businesses in the field of sustainability and circular economy from kind of around the world. And the event was run as a hybrid style event. So we had our physical activities run up at City of Glasgow College, and we had 85 companies attending with 170 delegates from around 12 different countries. So as a result of the success of the event, I would say there's probably a huge benefit for our members, because we have really grown our international connections and network. So hopefully you'll all be able to benefit from that. We also do already have a really strong network. We have what we call the 1783 Presidents Network, which are global Glaswegians which are based abroad. And then we also have partners like Scottish Development International and China British Business Council. So if there are markets that you're looking at, it's probably very likely that we have partners in them. So do reach out and get in touch. And then just finally, our kind of rough plans for 2022 is that we are thinking of focusing or doing a trade mission to Norway. one to Germany, and then maybe one later in the year to one of the ASEAN markets. So if these markets are of interest, let me know. But again, if there's other markets that are also of interest, please do let us know, because it's always good to kind of know what the markets are that our membership base are interested in. And if there is, you know, enough interest, then we might actually just, you know, put a trade mission on to one of those markets that you said. So if you have any queries around international trade, get in touch with me. Thanks.
Great, thank you very much, Seren. And yeah, like I've said, I will make sure that everybody's contact details and the best way to get in touch with each of the different departments is in a follow-up email after this. Next, I'll pass you over to my colleague Yasmin.
Morning, everyone. So I'm the certification manager for the international trade team. We also have an in-house customs team as well, which is based in our office, which my colleague Anne-Marie oversees. So basically, we are authorised by the British Chambers of Commerce and authorised by HMRC to produce export documentation for goods that have been shipped worldwide. So what we offer are certificates of origin. They're used all over the world, and it's for exporting goods for customs clearance abroad. If you're a member, the benefit that you have is that they're half price with ourselves. We use an online system called TradeCert, where as the exporter or the manufacturer, you can then apply for the documents online, we check them. We offer an express service where once they're approved by us, you can print them at your office, or we can print them here. You can either collect or we can post them out. We deal with ER1s as well, which are movement certificates, which help with reduced duties and taxes for goods that have been sent overseas that have trade agreements with the UK in place. They're also half price with ourselves. We deal with Arab British certificates of origin, and they're specific to the Arab League states. So they go through a bit more of a process. They're approved by ourselves. We then deal with the end-to-end process. We'll send them to the Arab Chamber, they'll send them to the relevant embassies and then back to ourselves. We deal with various embassies, so we can deal with Bahrain, Paraguay. There's several other ones as well for other documents that need legalised. We deal also with the Foreign Commonwealth Office, so we can have documents legalised there. And we now offer a letter of credit service, so we have a partnership with Synergy. So they'll deal with the full process of the letter of credits as well, and you get a £25 discount being a member with Glasgow Chamber. So there is some really great benefits. We also do temporary passports for goods, ATA carnies. So we have a great online system which you can go in and apply for them, which you can save lists. It's such a good system. So that's for goods of professional equipment, commercial samples, exhibitions that are going out for a temporary export and then coming back into the country. They're also half price if you're a member with ourselves. We have a great turnaround time as well, so it's usually about 4 hours. We have to turn around documents. We also offer an on-demand service where the documents can be done, certain of them, like your certificates of origin, your ER1s. Other documents authenticated by ourselves can be processed within 1 to 2 hours. So they're the main benefits for the certification side. We also have an in-house customs teams now. Since Brexit, we're finding that people are needing more import and export documentation for goods that are travelling in and out of the country. And they also have direct assistance from HMRC. The other new thing that they're doing as well is transit documents for goods that are travelling by roads in several countries. So you only need to pay tax and duty in the final destination country. And there has been quite a few changes, obviously, since Brexit this year as well. So my colleague Carol is going to send a link just to make you aware of what's to be expected to come up in 2022. And that includes some of the British Chambers of Commerce webinars as well. But if anyone has any questions, feel free to phone us as well. We're always here at the end of the phone. And we can give you a bit more information. But I'll pass back to Sarah. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Yasmin. And yeah, it's a super complicated system, not a complicated system, process that I know that you guys have got so much wealth of experience in. So yeah, like Yasmin says, if you do have any queries or you're looking to understand it a little bit better, the team are always there to advise me as well as you guys. So next, we're very proud to have a number of projects that we run out of the chamber. So I will pass over firstly to my colleague Ashley to speak about DYW Glasgow.
Thanks, Sarah. Hi everyone, I'm Ashley McCulloch and I'm the lead for developing the young workforce in Glasgow. Our role as a developing the young workforce team is to link businesses with education and influence the curriculum to make it more industry relevant. DYW is one of the pillars of the Scottish education system. In Glasgow alone this year, we had over 4,000 young people leave school, and it's our aim to support schools to make sure that each and every one of those people have had experiences in the real world of work to help influence their career decision making. Our research has shown that 2 or more interactions with employers across their school senior phase means that they're 86% less likely to move to a negative destination. That means leave school without having training, employment, or further education set up. So the value of employer engagement can't be underestimated. Many of you will know teachers and you might know some of their career pathways in which they've left school, went to college or university and then went directly into teaching. So they don't have industry experience or current industry experience because they may have been teaching for many years. And a number of our young people won't have positive role models in their life or role models that represent a range of different careers. So it's our job to go into schools and work with you, work with industry and work with business to make sure that we can get those interactions for those young people. What we really hope to do is work with you so that you can inspire and influence the decision making of all of those young people. There's an ageing population in Scotland, and that means the talent pool and the number of people leaving school each year will be getting smaller and smaller. So now is a really important time to be talking to these individuals to help support the talent pipeline that's coming through to your industry in future years. There's lots of other benefits though. So you can increase your profile within the community, you get that early access to talent, you've got the opportunity to develop and motivate your existing staff, giving them the opportunity to do some different things within their role. You can increase the awareness of your industry and your organisation. You can meet your corporate social responsibility targets. If you're tendering for contracts, then this is definitely a big tick in the box working with us. And you can actually support and influence the curriculum. We have a number of businesses that we're working with, particularly in STEM, who are providing examples for the new applied maths curriculum and actually bringing the problems and how they use STEM within their business to actually teach the children that are going through their senior phase at the moment. We act as a single point of contact for employers, particularly SMEs, around all of the pathways in careers. So we can help inform on foundation apprenticeships, modern apprenticeships, the Glasgow Guarantee, and we also specifically run a number of supported employment programmes. Currently we have Step Up and Kickstart, and we can help guide you through these programmes where you can invite a young person into your business and have their wages supported for up to 6 months. So it's a really great opportunity for a business and for a young person. All of the work we do supports the Young Person's Guarantee. That's Scottish Government's commitment to provide every 16 to 24-year-old with an opportunity for education, training, employment or volunteering. So if you're doing anything to support young people, you can apply to be a Young Person's Guarantee employer, and there's a promotion and marketing package that comes with it so that people are aware that you are part of this Scottish Government scheme. It's a very short form, and the role of our team is to help employers to do that. That's a whistle-stop tour of all the things we do. We'd be delighted to work with any business who could help support any of our young people, even just one young person across the city. So please get in touch and we'd love to speak to you about what you could do. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Ashley. Yeah, and I think it's important to stress this is very much the beginning of the conversation. We're giving you a top line of what each of the different departments do. But if anything sparked interest, then make sure that you do follow up after I've sent out all the information and we can continue the conversation. Next, I will pass over to my colleague, Cheryl.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. And I always love these events because I always get reminded about how much the Chamber actually does, which is somewhat frightening. So as Sarah mentioned, I work within the projects team and I'm the senior project manager working on the Circular Glasgow initiative. And I always feel I need to preface that with a bit of what the circular economy is and what Circular Glasgow is, but really we are working with the business community, small, large, and really trying to encourage businesses to take, I suppose, that first step in adopting more circular principles. So that is moving from the kind of take, make, dispose type approach to really thinking about how we design our products and services differently to keep things in use for as long as possible, as high a value as possible. And that is very much a mouthful to say in a morning, but really what we want to do is encourage business to think differently. I know that we've already heard a bit of mention of COP already this morning, and actually for us it's been a fantastic opportunity because businesses are really starting to think differently about how they approach their whole ethos and trying to become more sustainable. So for us, what we want to do is try to provide a bit of a starting point for business to help use things like circular economy to help businesses towards net zero and actually just becoming a more sustainable business. We work really closely with partners such as Zero Waste Scotland and Glasgow City Council, along with numerous other partners internationally, and we really want to kind of just provide some inspiration, ideas, and actually help businesses to really sort of start to adopt circular principles, as well as actually shout about what the good stuff is that's happening in the city through our various comms channels, including some of which Rachel's mentioned earlier on the call. So really it's just a sort of open call to those in the kind of call this morning to come engage with us and see how we can maybe help your business become a bit more circular and sustainable. And I'll pass back to you, Sarah.
Great, thanks very much, Cheryl. And so now that you have met some of my colleagues from the Chamber, I would like to introduce some of our other partners. So we have, through British Chambers of Commerce, some long-standing affinity partners, and used correctly, any one of these offers can give your organisation savings that far outweigh the annual membership fee. So firstly, I'll pass over to Niall Handy of Moneycorp.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Super. Yep, Niall Handy, Moneycorp, based in Edinburgh, but cover the whole of Scotland. And we work with Chambers of Commerce, as Sarah said, to deliver international support when it comes to currency transfers or currency translations. So within the 2-minute window, very briefly, it can be quite complex, but it actually can be quite simple. We try to demystify currency exchange, demystify risk mitigation, help businesses to remove some of the noise that we sometimes get around when you're trading in foreign currency. If you're an importer or exporter, you tend to have a requirement to buy or sell a currency. And it's my job to get to know you, get to know the business, and then come up with ideas and solutions that you might not have thought of before, or maybe your bank or maybe some other provider is not coming up with for you. On the very basic level, if you have a currency requirement, if you did what you're doing with your bank and you do it with us, the Chamber Effects benefit tends to save you some money. And that could be up to 50% on charges that you get charged by your bank. There's two forms of charges. One is the spread, that the rate that you get, and the other one is the international payment fees. So as a Chamber member, there is no payment fees for our Chamber members, and there is a reduced spread. So all in, if you just did nothing differently, and you did it with Chamber Effects, you should see a benefit. But actually, that's not the real benefit. The real benefit is looking longer term at strategies and structures and stuff that we can do around helping you when you start either exploring into a different currency or different countries, and how you would move money around. We've got quite a big liquidity pool, which means that we can offer really good rates, but it also means that we can transfer currency around the world quite quickly and quite efficiently. So if you have any kind of currency exposure, make sure you use this. And as Sarah said, genuinely, we could save you quite a significant amount of money that will easily pay for your subscription fee. And the one thing I will say is that Glasgow Chamber is brilliant, but make sure you use them and use the benefits, because if you don't use them, what's the point? That's it.
Great, thanks, Niall. And yeah, I mean that is, I mean, I think everyone on the call today is they're here, they're engaging. That's exactly what we want to see. It's the first step. Next, I'll move on to Steve Charles from Quest.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I'm Steve from Quest. The services I'm going to tell you about are supplied to most chambers in the country. As a member of Glasgow Chamber, you've got access to 4 services: Chamber HR, Chamber Health and Safety, Chamber Legal, and Chamber Tax. That includes 5 different advice lines: HR, Health and Safety, Legal, Tax, and VAT. You've got access to 3 document libraries: an employment, HR one, Health and Safety, and Legal. You've also got legal expenses insurance to cover you for employment tribunals. That, in a nutshell, is what you've got access to. The HR service, Chamber HR, is the most used. It's you've got unlimited access to advice. You've got access to 466 documents, and you've got employment tribunal cover. So that's to help you to manage people. So the benefits to you of that service is that it will help you to manage problems, whether it's discipline, grievance, absence, disability issues, whatever it is. It'll help you to manage those issues. It helps you stay compliant because you've got contracts of employment and employee handbooks on there. It helps you to support your staff. If you don't have any problems, that's absolutely fine, but you can support your staff, changes to hybrid working, flexible working, rates of pay, all this kind of thing. You've got the peace of mind of having the insurance, and hopefully, because this is included in your membership fee, you might not have to be pay for some of the services that you might otherwise have to pay for. Health and Safety, Chamber Health and Safety, the main thing there is the document library, because all the key compliance documents you need to be health and safety compliant are in the document library: risk assessment forms, guidance notes. One of the most downloaded documents of everything is the health and safety policy. That is then supported by a health and safety advice line. From the legal point of view, if you're a really small business, the legal service helps a lot, and it's heavily used by particularly one-man bands. If you've got problems with contract disputes or debt recovery or property issues, landlord-tenant issues, those sort of things, the legal service is fantastic and it's there to help you. Contract disputes are probably the biggest one, but you've also got an advice line, and you've got access to documents. The documents include template contracts, letters, it's quite a variety of things. Also on the website, as well as all the downloadable documents, nearly 800 in total, you've also got lots of information. So it's an information hub as well. The tax service, Chamber Tax, includes tax advice and VAT advice. There's no documents with that, but if you've got access to really experienced tax advisors, so if you get any issues about tax or VAT, you can give them a call. The service is there to basically help you manage your business in any of those 4 or 5 areas. It's there to help you. And the key things that you need to remember are that it is included in your membership fee, because the chamber pays for it. So the chamber pays us, like most of the chambers do, for all members to have access to the service. So it's included. You don't have to pay anything to access the advice. You don't have to pay to access the documents, or be covered by the insurance. You've got unlimited access, so you can call as often as you want for as long as you need to. So there's no limit on that. You've got around £1,000 worth of value in that, so it's really good value compared to your membership fee, because as you are hearing, there's lots of other things the chamber offers. But the key thing I draw to your attention is the access to the document libraries, because as well as I say, you've got access to these 5 advice lines, but you've got access to these document libraries, which you probably won't get anywhere else. There's nearly 800 documents on there, template documents and stacks of information. And once people discover what's in there, they will use it. You will have individual access codes. If you don't know what they are, if you ask the chamber, they'll be able to help you out. But every member business has individual access codes. So the message from us is, you've got access to all this fantastic resource. Please use it, because it's there to help you, and it's there to help you manage your business and stay safe. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Stephen. I appreciate you coming, as I know that you've been off on annual leave for the last few days and you just came back this morning. So I really appreciate you joining the call. Great. So next, I'm going to try and share a video from one of our other partners, AXA. So give me a moment. I think that can anybody give me a thumbs up if they can see that? Oh, great.
Yep.
Fantastic.
As a small business, keeping your people at the top of their game is a priority. You can't afford for anyone to be off work for too long, including yourself. This is the case for IT specialist company Stevenson & Co. Their clients rely on their expertise to stay up and running. We've helped them put together a tailored healthcare package that can help keep Mike Stevenson and his team focused, fit and healthy. Anyone can develop a bad back or neck pain after leaning over a computer for hours every day. With their therapies option, Mike and his employees can get treated by one of our recognised therapists to help relieve aches and pains before they worsen. If further treatment is needed, they can have consultations with a specialist under their standard outpatient option. And they can choose from a long list of private hospitals as part of the treatment option they selected. Sometimes a sore throat can be just as debilitating, especially when Mike and his team need to speak to clients day in, day out about their IT issues. With unlimited access to our Doctor at Hand online GP service, Mike's employees can jump on a video call in between meetings and speak to a doctor. In fact, they can do this 24/7 to discuss any symptoms they might be feeling and get their prescriptions sent straight to their home or workplace. Mike wants to support the well-being of his team for when the everyday doesn't go to plan, which is why he chose the Employee Assistance Programme option. Our experts are just a phone call away to help Mike and his team through their worries. Investing in your employees' well-being is an investment in your business's well-being. To find out more, call our small business experts on 0800 389 7413 or get a quote online.
So that was a little bit different rather than just hearing from. Oh no, it's starting again. Give me 1 second. There we go. That's the first time that I've ever shared a video on Zoom, so I'm glad it worked almost faultlessly. We also have another couple of affinity partners that weren't able to make it along today. So rather than me talking you through all of the benefits of it, what I'll do is I'll send, because I appreciate there's been a lot of information, so I will send more information around our Westfield Health programme, which is all around health, wellbeing, and it's a health cashback plan for your business. We also have a great offer with the AA where you can save up to 69% off your fleet insurance. So yeah, it's your roadside recovery even. So yeah, that's another really fantastic benefit. We also, through our partnership with Scottish Chambers of Commerce, we have a business mentoring service. So if that's something that you're interested in, then please do get in touch with us and we can partner you up with them. We, on top of that, we also have a partnership with Glasgow Life and the Business IP Centre at the Mitchell Library. So they have a great bank of information around businesses and obviously intellectual property. That's IP Centre, if the clue is in the name. And so again, as a member, you get access to reduced costs on lists and information from them. So if anyone's interested in introductions there, then do let me know. So I know there's a lot to take in, and as we said at the beginning, we'll share all the information with you. This is the starting point of maximising your membership. So remember that we are here to support our members and to champion Glasgow. The biggest thing is to engage and to get in touch with us. Everything that you've heard about this morning is part of our essential membership package. We will have an opportunity to ask questions. We might not have that much time, but we'll do our best. If you've got any questions, then please do put them in the chat. But I'd just like to tell you a little bit, firstly, about our partner level membership. So like I said, everything that we've spoken about so far is included in your essential membership. We also have a partner level membership. So we have a silver, gold and platinum level partnerships. The gold and platinum are very bespoke, and if you're interested in having a discussion around them, then I would ask you to get in touch with our commercial director, Susan. I'm hoping Susan might give us a wave so if you can see there. Perfect. Yeah, like I said, because they're very much bespoke packages around what your strategies and your influence that you're looking to make on the city are. But our silver partnership is the partnership that I look after, and I'll account manage all of our silver partners. And as well as all the benefits we've already mentioned, you also get a membership of our President 1783 network that Seren mentioned earlier. So we have our global ambassadors who are all over the world, but we also have our home. So we have a home team and an away team, and you would be invited to be part of our home team. And that's a really great opportunity to network with other global ambassadors and thought leaders. You also get invited to join our Glasgow Business Resilience Council. So it was formed at during the beginning of COVID, really, as it sounds, for business resilience and for us to be able to engage with our members and understand what they are, mitigate the impacts of COVID-19 on the business community. It's really built momentum over the last 18 months, and it's continuing to do so, and we've still found it a really useful tool to engage with different people from different sectors at that senior level. So as a silver partner, you get invited along to that, and you hear from speakers, and you get an opportunity to influence some key decision makers. We also have a number of up close and personal events, not too up close and personal just yet, but in-person events for the political engagements. You can get your point across to MPs, MSPs, national organisations. We have a number of roundtables that we organise with our partners as well, and you get invited along to some of that. We also we have a quarterly meeting with the leader of Glasgow City Council, and so that's a great opportunity for you to get your views put across for your sector and for your business to the local government. And we can also help you by sharing our Glasgow business stories. So someone from the Chamber team can help you at an event or at a pitch the current Glasgow business narrative at a pitch that you're trying to win. So that is a little bit about our partner membership, and if you're interested in upgrading your membership, then please do get in touch with me and I can help you do that. And we can also speak a little bit more about the benefits to your business in particular. So just before I open it up to any questions, I think it's worth, so today's been a lot of us talking at you and telling you a lot of information. One of the biggest things that the Chamber offers is the opportunity for you to engage with other businesses, and we haven't really got enough time for you to do that properly today. But what we do have is tomorrow we've got our last of our WeG chat of 2021. So we're having a Christmas special, and the WeG chat is essentially it's a virtual event which is designed to give members a digital platform to grab a coffee and have a chat amongst peers. So like I said, the next one is tomorrow at 11 AM. It's just an hour, and it gives everybody an opportunity to introduce your business, who you are, where you work, and then we've always got a bit of a fun icebreaker question, so you really get to know the other people who are in the room. So that's kind of it from me. If there's anyone who has any questions, please feel free to raise your hand or pop them in the chat. and I will try and keep some chat going for a minute to give anyone an opportunity to do that if they want to. And I will also just check my notes to see make sure there's nothing that I've missed. And I can't see anybody who has any immediate questions, but if, like we've said the whole way through, if you do think of anything or you do want to know anything more about any of the individual departments or the people that you've heard speaking, then do get in touch with us, is the biggest thing that we can stress this morning. So lastly, I'd just like to say a big thank you to all of our speakers that came along, but the biggest thank you goes to you, all of our members, for coming along and engaging with us this morning. I hope you have a great rest of the week, a super weekend, and I look forward to seeing you all soon.